Hey, here's an idea. Maybe just don't get married. Two recent high profile divorces are highlighting the fact that maybe our generation just isn't cut out for marriage. Now, I know that may seem strange, but here's the way I see it. Better to stay single than to divorce or to cheat on your spouse. We're going to talk about these two high profile divorces. The first one being Bobbi Althoff, or Bobbi Althoff, not sure how you say her name exactly, but she has recently been in the news for getting divorced from her husband. And these rumors that are happening, and again, I don't want to slander because they are rumors and not verified, but they seem to be circling around an interview that she had with one Aubrey Drake Graham, aka Drake. She had an interview with him. Mind you, she's married. And they're in bed together, okay? And she's asking him questions like, am I your type? And of course, Drake being a single, unmarried man, he's flirting with her. It's all, the whole situation is super slimy, especially because it turns out she was missing her daughter's very first birthday in order to be there where Drake was. I guess he was on tour or whatever. And she made a point to be there for her career, or maybe she secretly had a crush on Drake. Again, all this is speculation and I don't want to slander, but it seems like there could be good reason to believe it had something to do with that, because apparently less than 48 hours after that episode released, divorce was on the table and divorce was in motion. And then there were other rumors of them maybe having hooked up during this time, and that would have been the ultimate breaking of their marriage vows. But regardless of whether she did it or she didn't do it, what she did do and what she was comfortable putting on camera was already a pretty slimy thing to do when you're married. And unfortunately, the people who are going to suffer the most are the kids. She has very young children. And so they're going to not only see this example of their mom doing these kind of things, kind of selling herself out for fame, but they also are now suffering from a broken family with their dad saying, you know what? I don't want to do this. He was the one who actually filed for divorce. It was not Bobbi who filed. And that brings me to my second example, which is none other than Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater, okay? They were on a Broadway show together, and Ethan was married, Ari was not. And over the course of that time, Ethan divorced his pregnant wife, and shortly thereafter was in a relationship with none other than Ariana Grande. Do I need to explain any more than that? Obviously, he was leaving one to be with the other. As with Bobbi, she's not officially with Drake. And again, I don't like to slander people, so I don't know if that's a situation or not. But with this, it's clear, cut, and dry. Ethan Slater is now with Ariana Grande after having divorced and left his pregnant wife. I'm assuming she's had the baby by now. But I say all this to say, this is what highlights our generation has an issue with commitment in general, but it's so nonchalant now. And this has always been an issue in Hollywood where, you know, the Vegas style marriage where you get married overnight and divorced the next week. It's starting to bleed out into regular culture. And this is the way I see it. You have Hollywood, right? Then you have our level, right, which is just social media stars, influencers, and things like that. And then you have regular folks, okay? Now you're seeing it become commonplace for regular influencers to have all this drama in their lives. Honestly, it's a disgrace to what the institution of marriage even is. So it's better to just stay single, right? Than to make a vow, to make a covenant, and then break that. If you've decided in your heart that you want to live your life fast and you want to live for the fame and for the fortune and for the sex and the money, all those kinds of things, why even bother with marriage in the first place? It just seems like a box to check for a lot of people. You know, get married, finish college, not necessarily in that order, you know, get your house, have the kids, white picket fence, you know, American dream style stuff. Marriage is not one of those boxes you just tick, because there are other people involved and there are probably children involved. If you get married and have kids, now you're involving kids who didn't ask to be in that situation. Now you're involving them. And that just becomes selfish. So again, I reiterate by saying maybe just don't get married. And there are probably a lot of people in our generation who really should sit and think about that. What is your top priority in life? Is it your career? Is it money? Right? Is it being loose and free and wild and going around sleeping with this person and that person? Okay, you're not marriage material. You're not ready for marriage. Now, you would assume that over time, everybody would mature to a place where they want to settle down, where they want to commit, where they want to build something special, something strong, something with a commitment involved. But the more we see in pop culture, marriage is becoming a relic. So, of course, I want to hear what you think. Let me know down in the comments below. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss when I drop new videos as we cover viral topics and news. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.